welcome to Spankwagon. I'm Murphy.
I'm Decaf.
I'm the Cheese! Mark's got the camera.
Hi.
Camera Mark! And always emoting with the camera. Thanks, Mark. And we're here at DEFCon. We were dumb and didn't register beforehand. Didn't get press kits, didn't get media passes. So instead we're just going to hang around outside and see if anything happens. Decaf's a little apprehensive. There's a whole lot of white people around, and it's making him uncomfortable. So it could be worse, man. Don't worry, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. It's all right. So we're just kind of hanging out here, having a good time. Cheese, say hi. Hi. That's Cheese. All right, guys, watch some of this shit. All right, guys. Well, we're still here at DEFCon, and so far we've had 0 people talk to us.
Explain why.
I mean, this has got to be the most introverted place. I mean, it's like a group of trenchers. It is. It's like a group of trenchers. I'm even approaching people. They're like getting apprehensive.
Well, okay. Number one, 99% of the people here are white, so a large black man approaches them and makes them a little nervous. Here's the deal, guys. You're dealing with a group of people here who are ultimately concerned with privacy, whether it be theirs or someone else's. But this is one big. I mean, ultimately, it's one big privacy campaign is what we've got happening. So you can't really blame these guys for not wanting to talk to a bunch of people they've probably never heard of. What can I say? We're doing what we can, but no one wants to say hi.
So I got lined up and said, "This is ABC News."
So we're gonna keep trying, and hopefully we get somebody. Cheese, say something funny. Something funny. Alright guys, well, welcome back to Spankwagon. We are here at DEFCon, and we actually found someone who will talk to us.
A rather dapper gentleman.
Yeah, this is one well-dressed individual. Tell the folks at home your name.
Hex Junkie, a.k.a. Cuddles.
Hex Junkie, a.k.a. Cuddles. Those are like the best names ever.
Come every year for the last 2-3 years.
There's a lot going on here. I mean, you've got I mean, shit, there's everything under the sun here. What are you looking to do first?
I do security research, mostly hardware hacking. Almost everything they do here, I do.
And you've got the badge, of course.
Yes, standard badge right here. For a human badge. And that changes around every once in a while sometimes.
Now, badges in the past have been highly hackable. Do you think the same thing's happening with this one?
Of course, it's a contest.
What do you think you're going to be able to do?
Me? I don't do anything with this badge. I collect them. I've had several for many years, so.
Nice. All right, man. So just look at the folks there and just say .net.
.net.
Hi everybody. We're at DEFCon. I'm Decaf from Spankwagon. I got my gentleman here. What name do you go by, sir?
Robin, also known as Digi Ninja.
Wow, that's a lot of names, man. Where are you from?
The UK.
From the UK?
Yeah.
So you like it here? Is it too hot?
Yeah.
It's not bloody hot? It's not bloody hot out here? It's bloody hot. So is DEFCon what brought you here today? Or?
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yep.
Do you come here every year for...
First year for DEFCon.
First year for DEFCon?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just been too busy with the years, too expensive to fly over.
Yeah, I know. So, what have you done here? How long you been here?
Got in last night, seen a few talks, met a few people.
What talks have you seen?
Just seen the Dan Kaminsky one, and saw a couple of Sky Talks this morning.
Is there anything in particular that is more interesting, the most interesting thing that you've seen in there or whatever?
So Friends is the best bit.
Yeah, that is the best. Did you see the old computer room they have set up? Like the 60s, yeah. You like that? It's cool stuff, man. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for the interview, sir.
Okay.
And we give the card.
Can you look at the camera and give us a .net?
.net.
Hey, I found a group of dudes out here that are cool with the computer stuffs, so I'm gonna interview them. Let's go! Hey,
Ask them questions, Chief.
what are you guys doing here?
Getting out of work.
Yeah.
You got out of work? Nice. What lectures and stuff have you guys seen while you're here?
His talk.
What talk did you do?
I did crawling BitTorrent DHTs for fun and profit.
Yeah?
Like spying on people on BitTorrent and doing search engines.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like, how many people showed up to your talk?
I think it was standing room only in the back in track 5, but I don't think it was full in the front. So it's pretty full.
Nice.
A couple hundred, I think.
Anybody? Do you work for a company that?
No, I'm a grad student in Michigan.
Nice.
Yep.
That's what do the rest of you guys do? Hackers or security folk or
Students.
students? You group of students?
New grads.
Everybody from Michigan, like this guy? Or?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Nice. Cheese land. I'm the cheese. Anyway.
What are you guys looking forward to out here?
Dude, I want a ninja badge, really bad.
Ninja
Because
badge.
I have a paper one because they ran out of the real ones, so they hooked me up.
What is a ninja badge? I have no idea.
Red thing around his
Right
neck.
there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it gets you into the Ninja Party, which is just a party thrown by this group of hackers, the Ninja Networks guys.
Nice.
They just give out the badges to whoever they know. I got one because I called the badge on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. I was like, yeah, it's probably going to be a wireless mesh network that does badge-to-badge communication. Barcode said at the summit last night that he freaked out and emailed all his friends to figure out who talked, and nobody
Nice.
talked. I just guessed.
Nice.
It's kind of fun.
That's great.
So who's the ladies' man of the group?
I'm guessing this guy.
Ninja badge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's because he has a beard.
That's right. Beard gets the ladies. I know.
Dude, that's what it's about.
That's right. Well, thank you. Thank you for talking to us.
Sure thing.
We'll give you all free porn.
So, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
And once again, I'm Decaf from Spankwagon. I'm here with, what's your name?
I'm Leah.
Leah?
I'm Leah Shanker. Hi.
So, Leah Shaver, what's that
Oh,
glove there?
it's electroluminescent wire, and I
So how's
wired
it
it
work?
into my glove.
So does it light up?
It does. That's all it does. It lights up.
It doesn't play no jingles,
No.
no music, no nothing, no Michael Jackson.
I
You get no
wish,
Michael
that would be
Jackson out of it? You gonna moonwalk for us right now?
Exactly.
So what brought you down here today?
I've been going every year. I've been going for 5 years now, and I love it. It's the people, the culture, the content, the knowledge. It's all awesome.
What kind of conferences do you like?
Computer conferences. I've been to other academic computing conferences. They're not nearly as cool.
Why is that?
The one's here.
Oh, what's that? Sorry.
The conference is here.
Oh, the conference is
lectures
there. Hey,
here?
man, I don't. Come on, man. It's fake life. We keep it rolling, man. Yeah. So, what conferences do you like here?
In Vegas, there's B-sides and Black Hat, which I've never actually been to both, but yeah. So there's others. I've just been to this one. This one just seems to be my favorite. So.
What are you looking to get out of this one?
Well, I love meeting people, and it's just I leave with an intellectual high, where I just want to work on projects.
I know your glasses tell me though. How many focals you got in there? Is it
It's
trifocal?
10x or something ridiculous.
I know, it's the eyes are woo! It's going everywhere. I was like, I'm trying to concentrate the interview now. But I like the glasses, they're really nice. But so thank you for doing the interview with us.
Good to meet you.
We're gonna be on. The interview's gonna be what, Monday?
We're looking for Monday.
Real quick, before we what projects are you working on at home that you want to bring something from here to?
I do whole tons of smart home projects, where you walk into a house and it sort of just knows who you are. And
Is it a business that you do?
no, it's all just hobbyist kind of stuff that I work on. So.
Well, I don't know. Promote yourself. I mean, you trying to get customers or whatever. If you try to get customers, promote yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking to expand into business sector, make money doing this. But overall, it's just kind of my hobby, and I hope to do something with it in the future.
Hey guys, all right, we're still here at DEFCon, and we are doing something that none of the King Hesh listeners can do, and that's be around anywhere that children are legally allowed. As you can see here, this is the sort of thing that usually makes Heshtards go into a frothing frenzy and become erect. We don't have that problem here at Spankwagon. We respect children. So we're having fun here at DEFCon. We've actually met some interesting people and people that actually wanted to talk to us, which is kind of cool. We've all done some interviews. I think we're going to do 1 or 2 more things, and then we're going to show you guys some interesting shit. So you're watching Spankwagon, spankwagon.net.
Okay, the thing I don't understand, right? We're out here, we're at DEFCon. We got some of the smartest computer techs, hackers, nerds that you can find on the face of the earth, right? But then I turn around and I see this. Handwritten. You mean really? You could have used the printer. I mean, really? You can't type up. You can't type that up and fucking print it out. I mean, really? Is it hard? Am I mistaken here? There we go. PC low letter. Because up in here, I'm dealing with a bunch of nerds. There's Nerd City.
You know what? I gotta. Hold on a second. I gotta.
Oh shit.
It's Nerd City. Remind us again. What is it you deal with all day long?
I'll fix computers.
And what is it you have an entire room dedicated to in your house?
Star Wars.
Yeah. And yeah, you're a huge fucking hypocrite, man.
You know, you're leading somewhere now. I don't like where it's going.
No, I'm just saying.
Are you calling me a Republican, sir?
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. All right, guys, you're watching Spankwagon.
I'm serious, man.
Just watch this.
Really? They can't print out the side, really? But anyway, oh shit.
All right, guys. Well, you're watching Spankwagon. We were in DEFCon. We were told it was in our best interest to leave. So
just go.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Don't worry.
Go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
go
DEFCon.
Yeah.
We're not important.
We ain't professional, man.
That guy has a beard. Yeah.
So yeah, we are now outside of DEFCon, where
it is hot as
It is hot out here. But
it is sweaty cheese.
But it's inevitably safer for us and all of you, apparently, that we're out here and not inside.
Especially after we just got punked by security.
Undercover security. Undercover DEFCon security.
Nerd security was
Nerd
like
security was
very
like
important.
they checked us too, man.
Take a step, Mark.
Watch out.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, they checked us. Just
we're not nobody.
We want people to cut right in front.
Actually, cool. That's the gag. So so we're out here now. We're gonna go do some other stuff. We're gonna have some fun. You're watching Spankwagon.
.net.
We're here at Fremont.
The Fremont Street.
That's Fremont East. That's the shitty side of Fremont.
It's the side on the east.
On the east. That's the not so shitty side over there. We're gonna go that way first. But you're watching Spankwagon. Cheese.
.net.
Like he said. .net. Okay, so this is another one of those moments that only happens when we're around. These guys have a camera set up, and in about 3 minutes, they're gonna print it live from there. Turn the camera. Print it live from there. Up there. So of course, what a better way to, show off our new business card.
We're hanging out here at Fremont Street with Spankwagon.net, recording just crazy stuff.
Spankwagon.net. Very nice. The mind reels of what possible
Goes like this.
You're in the pictures.
Yes.
All right, cheese, chuck, whatever you roll. What else have you been doing? You've obviously come to Fremont Street, working on the big screen. The biggest television on the planet. Fremont Street Experience Canada, the biggest big screen on the planet. We're bringing the 49th.
1.
Exactly. Good point.
A number greater than 1.
A number greater than 1. Listen, here we are on the big screen. Good seeing you, Spankwagon.net. And I have a wonderful night.
You too?
There's a lot of things to see and do, and videotape and film and all that good stuff. Come on over here and say hi. Oh. What do you think? Cassidy.
I would like to point out it took Cheese less than 10 seconds to get the website out. That's a team player right there.
This is Spankwagon! We're here on Fremont Street West, not East. East is ghetto. West is the shiny room with the screen in this.
Slightly less ghetto.
That's right! Here with Murphy.
And the Cheese.
And the Cheese!
And Trencher on the cam.
On the cam, it's Trencher!
Decap is off doing something somewhere, we're not really sure.
He's being black somewhere else!
So we are down here with all kinds of crazy tourists and having fun and...
Photo magic!
Yeah, that stuff. And we got people. We're gonna see if anyone wants to talk to us and we'll give them free pornography.
Hell yeah, porn! Ha!
Attention Spankwagon viewers, it is hot as fuck out here. My balls are sticking to my leg. Here, Trent, let's show them. No, we'll show them. No, they want to see.
Cheese is sweaty! I'm melted cheese! Ball sticking to his leg!
Chris, this battery's going as well.
What? I charged that one.
Give me below register.
How low?
Dead, like it's going to be dying soon, so let's enjoy.
Alright, we'll turn it off. Let's wait till we pay it. Alright guys, well, you're watching Spankwagon and we found something interesting that I don't believe I've ever seen downtown before. This is a deep-fried Twinkie.
Deep-fried Twinkie!
Covered in some sort of powdered sugar and...
Chocolate Jimmies!
I'm a douchebag.
No, you don't need to.
Oh, I guess I gotta open this thing up, huh? There we go. There, hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Over here. Camera's this way. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Spankwagon. Treasure, why don't you tell everyone what the hell is going on?
Well, it's Saturday morning. We do have to include frame of reference.
Yeah.
Last night, Murphy and I decided to go out to the Crown and Anchor.
And Cheese was with us.
Cheese was awesome.
Cheese was with us.
Cheese is cool. But we go to the Crown and Anchor on Trop, and we walk in, Murph, myself, Cheese, and the waitress recognizes us from a visit from 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, this could either be really good or really bad.
Yeah, most of the time that sort of recognition is really bad. It means that I put my dick in someone's dinner.
It was really good though, because not only did we start hanging out, and Murphy and I started having a bunch of beer, but the hot waitress, when she went off shift, joined us for another, 3 hours?
Yeah.
And hung out with us, bullshitting and talking for another...
Here.
It's either my ears are going to detonate or it's done.
It's done. Here.
No, it's okay. Chris, just...
Yeah, okay.
Keep talking, Mark. I gotta keep. It's aimed at my crotch.
It's the first time that's ever happened.
Shut up. So anyway, so the really hot waitress just hung with us, BS with us until what, about 3 when we all realized we had to tap out. Murph had to drive. Actually, I'm at Murphy's house because there was no way I could drive.
Folks, Mark, who is usually our designated driver, or
designated
at least
drinker.
Yeah, wow. Mark put away 4 or 5 beers on his own, which after 3 he was done, so we decided just to keep giving them to him. And Cheese put away like 7 or 8 waters.
He's gonna have water. What's the deal when you have too much water displacing?
You have to pee.
No, fuck you. Oh my god, I got a headache.
And I think I probably had what, like 7 or 8.
Yeah, you got a lot.
Oh no, for me that's not really a lot, but
I gotta buy that last round. Oh.
dude, it was 2 beers. So, oh my dog's got something. Oh whatever. So anyway, Marky here had to crash out on my couch. You'll notice he's still wearing the same clothes from yesterday, he's still wearing the same clothes from yesterday, which depending upon how we edit this, it'll
makes sense.
Yeah. But Mark is he's a little hungover. So Mark, I have a guaranteed cure for your hangover.
By the way, I got her number.
Yeah, and yet somehow Cheese is taking her out on Monday.
How's that?
Dude, I don't know. Cheese is like a force of nature, man. He's like a big, hairy, bearded tornado.
You know what? That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a Cheese.
Yeah,
So,
I like that guy.
So Trench is very, very sleepy and a little hungover. A lot hungover, actually.
Very head poundy.
Yeah. Trencher, what are they watching?
Spankwagon.
Work.
Spankwagon.net.
That's it. Hungover, bitches.
.net.
All right, everybody. Trencher here, Spankwagon.net, and right now we are really hitting the nerd quotient. I'm over at the Classic Gaming Expo at the Tropicana here in Las Vegas because that's all we do. And myself, holding the camera right now is Mark. You know Mark, you've met him before. He's seen transvestites thanks to Spankwagon. I'm surprised he actually agreed to go along, but he's going to be hanging out with us. Plus, we're going to find Cheese and Charlie from the Who Asked You show, and we're all going to hang out, talk some video games, get some interviews, have some fun. Right now, though, we're in a museum, and I'm geeking out hard. So if, Mark, you don't mind following me, like you have a choice. Just to get an idea, it looks like it's covering everything from the first Odyssey from Magnavox all the way through. All the different types of video game consoles, everything. I would almost say since the late 70s, mid to late 70s. So let's get some video of that, and then we'll be back and we'll start talking to people and have more fun. And yeah, so check out this nerd stuff. Hey everybody, here we are, Classic Gaming Expo, Tropicana, Las Vegas, and I'm with Chris. Chris here you said you set up some of the museum? Or?
I set up part of the museum. My major bent is, or my major collecting, is all of the Vectrex stuff that you might see along here. So
now explain, I know what Vectrex, but explain to the camera because the camera doesn't know.
Okay, so the Vectrex itself is a classic video game from 1982, runs on an old Motorola 8-bit processor. But its specialty itself was that it had just the built-in monitor to go along with the game itself. So everything was nice and compact. The control here fit right inside of the game unit itself. And since it had its own monitor built in, it had the unique ability to keep your parents off your back. So you didn't have to steal the TV to put on your Atari or your Pong or your other home game system. And in fact, today, kids are still hogging the living room for the high-def TVs to put on the PS3s. So in this one, it was all vector graphics based video game. So one of them, and that sort of presented a problem with the TVs at the time because all the TVs are raster scan. This being vector graphics, something like the Tac Scan or the Tempest games at the time, these all had a unique graphics display and feel for it.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your
Hi,
time.
you're welcome.
Now you've been grinning like a maniac since we walked into the museum room. Let's get some impressions from you there.
Impressions? It's a lot of. I was born in 1989 and didn't have much of a childhood other than an SNES and a Super Nintendo and anything Nintendo. But the Atari and everything in the 80s missed me completely. So I've been grinning because I see all these computers, and it's like every year, like in the late 70s and early 80s, they have like just a million computer systems come out, and they're all huge and crazy, and you put this crazy disc in there, and the keyboard, like this one made me laugh. The Commodore 64. This is the keyboard.
Oh
This
yeah,
is the keyboard.
and with 64K of memory, hence the 64. Here's one that I used to have, the VIC-20, and actually I still have it. It's in a closet in storage in Iowa with a tape cassette drive.
This is what makes me laugh. But it's cool. Like I could spend all day reading about this stuff because it interests me. But still, I'm just like, you have the VIC-20, or you have this one because it's the same thing. Or you know, that was the Commodore SX64, which is the same thing, except maybe better graphics,
More memory. And
more memory. But I mean, like back then, 64 times 128. Oh, you know, I don't know. This is me, but.
So,
I'm not dissing it. I'm amused by how like crazy that used to be. Like, oh my God, 64 kilobytes of memory. We're crazy, and now we're talking about trigs and you know quads of memory now and shit. Like, you know, like now games that used to be so simple, like Space Invaders. You just had the little thing or whatever it was, and now it's like you know, Assassin's Creed and shit. Where it's just like now, you know, it's all complicated. You can't just play a game anymore. It has to have like meanings and challenges and achievements and plot points, and it has to be a fucking movie now.
And that's one thing about gaming back, you know, in the day was you couldn't develop much of a storyline, but you still had to make it very playable and repeat playable again and again and again. And
high scores were important.
Yeah, exactly. Now no one cares about any score, you know. So, all right, go ahead and tell them what they're watching.
What they're watching Spankwagon.net.
Oh, look, it's over there. It's over there. What are you doing? Holy crap! Ooh,
it's weirdo.
This is the Spankwagon. Ooh, no, I'm Luigi. Look at me. Aha! Ah!
It is Spankwagon.
You cads! You have tricked the cheese and chase. What things have thou brought upon us?
Well, we were following the beard.
Hell yeah, beard.
Because when we go to the front counter to register and they're saying, oh, someone's already here. We have your card. It's the beard.
Hell yeah, beard.
Oh yeah,
This is the descendants of Edric Booth, I guess. They're a cool band. I miss them. But they're going to go back up at 2:30. I'm going to dance my ass off. It's going to be ass off dancing. Are you guys part of the descendants?
Yeah, guitar and bass right there.
All right, what are your names?
My name is Amanda with 3
out .net. Really good.
Thank you.
.net. Like that.
Kids from it.
This is Dragon Warrior, son. You don't know about that.
Dragon Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Gotta get the sword and shield of Edric.
Yes. Yes.
Otherwise, can't beat the dragon.
No, you can't.
Sword and armor.
It's armor.
Yeah, it was
It's
a
the armor.
silver shield.
Yes.
That's right. And then the icon of Edric was in that big ass swamp.
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah, the token. I'm the one who came up with the band name, so you're talking to the...
That's right. Good.
The only Dragon Warrior, not Quest, Warrior games I'm familiar with are 1, 2, 3.
Hey, Quest here in America.
I've never played any other ones past the NES, so those are my games.
I love the first one because it was you versus dude. There was no extra guys. There was no magicians. You learned all the magic and you stabbed him off.
Yep.
That was what it was.
Sealed with a kiss and also like lots of plastic and stuff. How's it going?
whoshoeshow.com and Spankwagon.net, and I'm here with the descendants of Edric, because Edric slew the Dragon Lord. Yeah, and the Descendants had to do it too, because peace was not had. And we are here with the band members. They just played a set and it was awesome. And these are the band members right here, and their names are?
My name is Amanda. I play guitar. I'm player 1.
I'm Chris. I play bass. I'm player 5.
I'm John. I'm the drummer, and I am player 4. I'm Lobos. I'm the other guitarist. I'm bass.
Right on! There's Lobos. I've already forgotten your name.
All right.
It's a good thing we have it
It's
on
on
tape.
camera.
Yeah, that's right. And during your set, you fell.
Yes. Actually, all the falls and kneeling downs and like losing my guitar strap and everything like that, it's all completely planned out. Basically, every stage move is brought to committee and we must all sign off on it. It's terribly bureaucratic. That's how it is in the video game rock world, I'm afraid to
That's okay. That's good to know, because I did not know those things. How long have you guys been together?
Well, her and I started the project last year, about this time actually, but with everybody, we've been rocking out in Austin, Texas since about February.
Right on. So you have stuff for sale and albums and whatnot?
Yes, we do. It's just like we've never done this, so we're like, where's the microphone? Okay, so we've got an EP, which is 3 songs. It's called "But Thou Must" in the vein of Dragon Warrior.
People should know.
Yeah. Yes. Well, exactly. Look at the guy right here.
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's the guy. And we also have a full-length album. It is called "Downright Heavy." Very punny. And the EP is $5. The album is $15. And we've got them available here at the table and also on the website. It's descendantsoferdrick.com.
Run on. So we'll be sure to link to that. Yeah, T-shirts. Are those also for sale?
Yes, sir. These T-shirts are for sale. This one, you have to I might give you a discount because it's a little sweaty now. We have plenty over here, and they are available on our website, descendantsoferdrick.com.
Run on. Well, individually, how long have you guys been in music?
I've been I was in like school band since I was 11, but I've been playing guitar for about 13 years.
I've been playing bass off and on for a long time. I mean, 14 years I would probably say.
Yeah, same thing. I've been a percussionist since I was actually in elementary school, like doing drums. But I've been playing drum sets for about 12 years.
I also was in bands. I like to fit in. And so that's been about 12 years since I started playing guitar.
Right on. What's your favorite video games? Obviously, being a video game band, I know that's a difficult question, but what besides Dragon Warrior series?
Well, you knocked her out.
Yeah.
Okay,
You gotta give her last.
We can include that or whatever, but just what are some of your favorites?
I guess I had to pick 2. It would be Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, and Chrono Trigger.
And if I had to pick 2, it would be Legend of Zelda, Link's Adventure, or Zelda of Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, and probably Killer Instinct.
I only got to pick one, Earthbound.
Okay, I'm going to do 2, and I'm going to show you Final Fantasy VI.
That's right!
Yeah. And actually, I must say Dragon Warrior 3.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, what was that item that you fought like 3 times as many enemies?
That was the Golden Claw.
Right, you needed it to become the sage. Right, I know my Dorkitude, son.
Yeah. You need the Book of Satori to become the sage. The Golden Claw is for the fighter, and if you can actually survive getting out of the pyramid with that thing, you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for talking to us, and you guys were fucking awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is the cheese with the Descendants of Edric slashing up the Dragon Lord and like killing foes. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, this is a cheese. And Mark.
I don't have a catchy nickname yet.
That's cool. It's Mark. No catchy nickname.
Mark Electric.
Mark
Electric for whoaskyoushow.com and Spankwagon.net.
.net.
And we're here with Morgan, who is Crash Faster.
That's true. I am Crash Faster.
Yeah, what, you're a musician.
I am.
What kind of musicianing stuff do you do?
Chiptune or chip music. I make music with Game Boys and Nintendos and Commodore 64s and things to that effect.
Right on. Like, how long did it take you? Did you build a lot of this stuff?
No, I've done some of the modifications myself, but there are kits that you can get online to install backlights in your classic game system, and you can do simple mod to get a line out on your Game Boy. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Right on. So is this like for the guy who doesn't know much about this kind of music? Is this like a techno-y, electronica kind of music?
A lot of the music in the genre ends up being like that, but it doesn't have to be. I try to kind of balance it out. I do songs that have kind of verse, chorus, verse structure. So I don't know what you'd call it. I cover Nine Inch Nails and Smiths and things like that, and they all have an electronic bent to them for sure.
Technical difficulties.
I work days and I work nights to fill the emptiness inside. Nothing's working anymore. The soul is begging me for more. I drink alone, I walk alone. I spend my nights alone again. I pass the people on the street, pleading with my myself and the self-destructive self. This bitter, empty shell. It's getting slow, the sound of speech is offered to my ears, and coming home to nothing is the only constant thing. The walls are slowly closing in, and I am dying to get out. Can't you see me thinking? Can't you hear me scream?
Hey, Charlie Cheese again with Spankwagon.net and WhoAskYouShow.com. With Michelle and Seth of 8-Bit Weapon.
Hi.
Hi. They're awesome. Saw them play earlier, and they were just like, yeah, digital 8-bit music, son. You know, throwdown. Yeah.
All those words together, yes.
How long have you guys been doing this?
He's been doing it a lot longer than I have. I joined in 2006.
Yeah, I started doing it late 90s.
Wow, you've been doing it for over 10 years. Like 12, if my math is correct. And do you have a cool nickname like she does? This is Computer.
Yeah, I'm Computer. That's my separate band from
Oh, okay. Like that's a band, or
yeah, it's her
yeah.
solo band.
Or a solo band.
She plays as Computer first, and then we joined forces.
She plays computer first, then we joined forces to become 8-bit weapon.
Nice.
Like Voltron. Like Voltron, we joined.
Do you guys form Blazing Sword?
I do.
So, did you split off from 8-bit weapon, or did you start as Compute Her and then join up?
I started as Computer and then joined up at 8-bit.
Did you join up with him in 2006, or was that when you started, period?
I started in late 2005, early 2006 as Computer, and then later joined. Was it 2000?
I think it was official late 2000, like October 2006. So after a full year after you started putting out your own music.
Right on. How do you guys know each other?
I
So
went to go see 8-bit Weapon play, and we met at a show, or well after the show, and
she didn't see me play because the band before me sucked so bad she left. But we did make eye contact.
Oh, that's romantic. That was the key thing, is the eye contact from the crowd.
Yeah.
And then like soft music played, all in 8-bit stereo.
And somebody released doves into the air. That's how they met. Oh, I had a question.
It was a good one. I know it.
It was awesome. It was so awesome. You forgot it.
it went with the doves.
It went with the doves. Maybe that was my great idea, and then left.
So how do you guys feel about doves?
Oh, that's a great question. Damn it.
I love the soap.
The soap is good. Very cleansing and not too hard on your skin. Some oil sometimes is left over. Oh, you got your question back?
No, I have a different question now. We've just been asking all the video game music people. I'd like to ask this question. What is the one game you played that when you beat it, you just wanted to cry? It was so hard, or it took so long, or it was just so difficult that you didn't know what to do. It was like,
For me, it was with, I think, Metroid Echoes for GameCube, because they made some really ridiculously hard bosses towards the end, and between the light world and the dark world, which got old after 8 games. But yeah, after that, it's like, Jesus, I almost didn't want to beat it. It's like, F this, you know. It shouldn't be this hard. It's not a challenge, it's just frustrating. But after I beat that, I was like, okay, great. So then after I beat that, I had to, of course, buy the third one. Had I not beaten the first one, I would have saved myself $50.
Yeah.
For me, I've never beat the game ever. Like, I've never.
Oh wait.
Ever.
Actually, technically, she beat Little Computer People because you can't lose.
You weren't putting it in the face. It was pointing like past it. It was like,
oh, I'm sorry. I
was trying to do this. Like it was.
I was too busy, like just thinking, how do you never beat a game? Like I thought you were gonna say you never played a game before. I'm like, how do you make? Oh, so you just never see them through?
Yeah, I never seen it through.
Oh.
Trencher here, Spankwagon, Spankwagon.net. Yeah,
Spankwagon, yeah.
Yeah, give it .net.
.net.
Now, I don't know what it is, but I'm running into Discovery Channel celebrities everywhere. I know we've chatted with Grant Imahara. Hold on. Right there. Right here. Okay, if anybody remembers the show, it's Prototype This. And there was a gentleman on there by the name of Joe. And Joe is, a hacker, hardware hacker, designer of DEFCon badges in years past. And he's here at the Classic Gaming episode, and of course, I, Trencher, have to go into fanboy mode. And
here I am.
Let's you cut that, Chris, my editor at home. Let's talk about just some of the things you've built a little bit for Prototype This. Okay. Because you guys built some amazing pieces of hardware, amazingly complicated pieces of just software that had to get it to work, and controller. Tell some of the stuff you built for that show. Okay. And then tell some things you've built on your own that you're like, this is the cat's pajamas.
Right. Sure. Okay. Geez, let's see. Without any real thinking about it, yeah. So Prototype This was crazy because we had 2 weeks pretty much for every episode to build stuff, and the network was like, it has to work the first time, it has to be awesome, and it can't be done before, and just all of this stuff. And they basically just threw a camera in and said, build it. So that that didn't work out so well at first, but we ended up building like crazy projects. So we had one of my favorites is a 30-foot water slide simulator.
The simulator was awesome to watch, and just
fully computer controlled. Yeah, and it spins, and people watch it from the outside, and they're like, that's lame, it goes so slow. But when you're in it, and it's spinning around...
Yeah, you tested it first, didn't you?
Yeah, I tested it, and it was no joke. Like, it was just this big thing, and we had the projector showing the point of view of the computer-generated water slide and everything. So that was wild. And that was a lot of control system heavy, so I didn't do a lot of the actual control systems for that one. But another one I liked was the, let's see, I liked the, what's it called? Traffic busting truck, which was one of the earlier episodes. And we use these things called Mecanum wheels, which are wheels that can move in any direction. And actually my favorite part of that whole project was building the couch, which we called the omnidirectional couch. And that was a couch with these Mecanum wheels on them, and the control system that I built that you can use a PlayStation 2 wireless controller to drive it. So we're sitting on this couch, driving down the streets of Treasure Island in San Francisco, and buses are coming by and everything.
Speaking of the Treasure Island, the robotic controlled car.
Yes.
That kept wanting to drive itself into the Jersey barriers.
Yes. The pizza delivery car.
Thank you.
And that one was actually that car was built by apparently one of the original inventors of the Google Street View and Google Maps stuff, or Google Street View. So he had outfitted his car with all of this different equipment. Yeah, and that one kept driving into the barriers and stuff. But we did a lot of crazy things, and I was the electronics guy, and we had Zaz, who was our software robotics master, and we had Terry, who was the machinist, and Mike North, who was sort of everything else. And it was, it was an interesting time.
And you guys all clicked very well together. Yeah, there were some times where it was like, no,
a little bit of drama.
But you guys clicked very well together. Why don't we see more shows? Why didn't more shows get made? What's Discovery's problem?
Well, it's funny actually, because it's rare to actually get 4 people together and that can actually work well. And we didn't know each other before the show, but it turns out that Zaz and I had a bunch of the same friends, and we came from the same scene, like the hacker community, but just never had met each other. So we hit it off right away. So we worked fine. Like, there wasn't a lot of drama really in the show, but ultimately it came down to money, time and money. And we were spending our budget. We had like a $10,000 or $20,000 build budget per episode, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much money.
I think it's 10 to 20,000. I'm watching that giant Ferris wheel of water.
Yeah. So we had to actually. We got a lot of equipment for free from companies, trade out, so we would show their logo or use their product.
Like the vacuum form padding?
The vacuum form, for the Pyro Pack and some other things. So we probably were using like $100,000 or $200,000 worth of stuff, but we could only spend $10,000 or $20,000, which really limited us. But to the TV network, that was a lot of money. Yeah. And it was taking us anywhere from 2 to 5 weeks to build projects, even though on the show they say it was always 2 weeks, but it wasn't. The magic of TV. So, that was a long time for TV production, and I think what happened is, for that amount of time and that amount of money, they could go make 10 other crappy shows instead of one that actually showed the real engineering process of building a product.
And that's one thing I really enjoyed, is it did show that real engineering process. Yes, it was
cut and chopped, but
Yeah.
you got a great feel of what you were doing, fabricating and design and
testing, yeah,
and
building.
And you sacrificed yourself almost all at the the vacuum form fireman.
Fire thing, yeah.
So
all in the name of science.
All in the name of science. Now, some people may not know this, but you're a member of Loft, and I caught on to that because Fear Loft with some of your T-shirts and stuff like that.
Feds love Loft.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell, I guess, the non-hacker community what Loft is.
Okay. So the Loft was a hacker group that we started back in the early 1990s. It was basically a bunch of Boston area computer hackers and technology enthusiasts that, to make a long story short, got together in a clubhouse, started hanging out, and started evaluating security features of various products, most notably Microsoft Windows. We would just hang out and find security problems and go to vendors and say, hey, we found a problem in your system. And the vendors would normally say, no, it's not a problem. And then we would write, it's a feature. We'd write exploit code and actually show the problem to them, and they go, oh, that is a security problem. We need to fix that. So, it was just a group of us hanging out, having fun. And, when I talk about hackers, it's the good guys. If we were malicious, we would never have actually told anybody about the problems.
One thing I think a lot of people don't understand is hacking in itself isn't a good evil.
Right.
A criminal is a criminal is a criminal.
Right.
Someone who breaks in and exploits for to be malicious and make bad choices.
Right.
That's a criminal. What you guys are doing is saving the rest of us. Saving the people who look at the computers and the internet now as an appliance, as opposed to what it is.
Yeah.
A computer, a device, a tool.
Right, it's a tool, and we felt that being technically inclined and doing what we do is that it was our responsibility to let people know, and people that weren't necessary, people that were just trusting their systems. It was our responsibility to let them know, because you can't just rely on the vendor, on these big companies to actually protect their end users, because a lot of times they don't even know they're insecure, and if they are, sometimes they just go la 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 la, and they don't want to hear it. So we were just trying to, we were like the Ralph Nader of the computer security world, I guess.
Exactly, and a lot of that's because you've got so many people writing code, and it's too segmented. There's too many people writing code that, okay, it has to meet up with this, but I'll just do that.
Yeah.
But, and I'm trying to pull something from memory. I don't remember if it was Loft or LOD, but there was something huge legal. I don't know if it's you guys.
LOD, there was a lot of those guys went down. We didn't go down for anything. LOD was actually doing.
So I'm getting my groups
They were
confused.
actually breaking into systems, and we never broke into systems that were not ours.
Got it.
Or that we didn't have permission to. So as a group, we were all on the up and up.
Okay. Again, for anybody at home, you want to think of it in three ways. You've got your black hats, the bad guys, the white hats, the good guys, and then the gray hats, the confused guys.
Yeah. It all depends. It's like all of the information out there are essentially tools, right? And it's like what you do with the tool. We discovered the tools, or we found security problems in products that were there anyway. So it wasn't our fault that we found them, but we chose, as responsible citizens, to actually go and notify the companies. But we always compared it to like having a hammer, right? Like you can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use a hammer to beat the crap out of somebody. And it all comes down to ethics, regardless of if you're in the the technology space or if you're in any other community.
Absolutely. All right, well, I'm going to thank you for your time, and as you got ambushed in the middle of a gaming convention, thank you very much. And one more time for the camera, you're watching Spankwagon.net.
Spankwagon.net.
Smells in here. All right. Oh, dude, that sucked. I wish it did. Have you ever played Predator for the NES?
Hey everybody, Trencher for Spankwagon, Spankwagon.net, and we're here with Jim from Digital Press, who is one of the organizers, coordinators, MC if you get the creepy mic in the pocket joke, who basically is one of the individuals who set this up and is running this entire con. Now, 10th year?
Yes, sir. It's our 10-year anniversary, our 10th show.
Awesome.
Very excited for it.
Were you here at the beginning? Were you with it with the beginning?
Not at the very beginning.
Okay.
I came in probably about the 7th show in when I was 16, and have gotten sucked in ever since.
Now, you're obviously a classic gaming fan.
Oh, absolutely.
What's your system?
Well, I love them all, man. I collect anything and everything. I have a variety. Halfway through a complete NES collection, so that's kind of what I've been focusing on right now, is completing an NES collection. Atari 2600, even collecting like Fair Channel, Channel F, obscure systems and stuff like that.
Wow, Fair Channel. Wow,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so when you started here, and your contributions, is it bringing in the vendors? Is it bringing in the museum? Is it bringing in the wonderful music acts?
Absolutely. Joe, John, Sean, 3 head honchos, they got really good connections with people who bring in the arcade machines. You know, people locals who bring in the arcade machines. We are good friends with 8-Bit Weapon. They've been like almost every show. They'll come out and they have their partners that they have music. Classic Gaming Music that they know, they'll bring them out. And then the attendees, we'll just reach out to them. You know, we're pretty established so that they know every year, you know, they can rent a booth, set it up, and from there we before the show, we'll put all the drapes up, set up the booths, have it ready to go, make it as convenient as possible for those attending, and just give them an awesome experience for coming to our show to set up.
Awesome. Now, what is your usual attendee count?
Oh wow, let's see. On average, I mean we've seen 2,000 in a weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, so it can get to be a really good turnout for a weekend, sometimes more.
And with the love of video games, love of classic games, you know, it's an awesome show. It's respectful. I love the museum personally because I go back and I'm looking at like Odysseys and old Ataris, and I'm just like, had, broke. You know, now I really respect what you guys have put together here.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate it. Like I said, we're just as passionate as those attending, and you know, preserving it, and especially in the museum, to have that just to walk down memory lane, just all the obscure stuff we've collected over the years that you're really not going to find anywhere else. And a lot of it's just a labor of love, and we're so happy to hear comments like yours.
Oh, yeah. And do you also write for Digital Press?
I do. We have a rarity guide, the Digital Press Advanced Guide, and I do the Game Gear section, the rarity for the Game Gear section, and we have a very knowledgeable staff that will take a system or multiple and research the rarities, write about the games, and it's great for when you're out in the wild, as we like to call it, as collectors, hunting for games.
Nice. All right. Mark, do you have any questions?
I do have one question.
Yeah.
You're talking about the NES collection.
Yeah.
This is a question I've just been asking everybody. Do you have Predator for the NES?
I do have Predator.
Did you ever beat it?
No.
Okay.
No, did not beat it. I was playing it recently, and got to like the 2nd level, and that was it. Now, a buddy of mine, he got a little bit further where you get to like the side scrolling, where you actually see like the in the bubbles, you see like the big Commando Arnold. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you're not going to go into that rant. You're safe from his rant.
Yeah, at least that. Because I beat the game and it makes 0 sense. So.
All right. Well, again, I'm Trencher. This is Jim from Digital Press. Thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure, sir.
Awesome show.
.net. We're here with Spankwagon.net and WhoAskYouShow.com to observe the gamer in his natural habitat. Let's take a look, shall we?
Oh, we found one here.
Oh, hi guys. Hi.
Notice his unkempt 5 o'clock shadow. And his glasses that probably are not prescription.
They're sunglasses, of course they're not prescription.
Notice how he still has them in a visible area while inside.
You got yours hanging out of your pocket. That's as visible as anybody else's.
Oh, you angered the game. Oh no, we must
listen,
retreat.
I come here to enjoy myself, not to be persuaded.
Oh no.
This is
He's left.
He's
charging.
What's the difference between the green and the yellow wristband?
We asked the same thing. We don't know.
He's jealous of my yellow.
Is it like later they're gonna try like racism experiments, or it's like okay, they tell the green kids what the yellow
It's
kids
the
are
wave.
bad,
You're oh my god,
and then
the
they'll be like
wave.
they'll tell the yellow people the green wristband's bad.
I love it.
And then
That's
they're
stupid
like,
green.
factions break out, it'll be terrible.
That'd be awesome.
Green.
Social experimenting.
Green. Ah.
Green power.
We're looking at you. We're gonna burn a cross in your lawn.
I heard
That's horrible.
I heard yellow people.
That's how we welcome you to the neighborhood.
Good old racism.
Anyway.
I heard the yellow wristbands don't eat hamburgers.
Oh. Travesty.
Bastards.
Anyway, if we haven't mentioned before, you're watching Spankwagon and watching WhoAskedYouShow.com and Spankwagon.net.
.net.
Net. Hell yeah, Net. Anyway, we're here with Bud Melvin, awesome video game banjo guy.
Greetings, world.
He also has an awesome Civil War mustache.
Thanks.
How long have you been playing banjo, sir?
Approximately 18 years.
That's a lot of banjo experience.
3 more than me.
It is. And I started very bad, and then I got better and better and better, and then I started getting worse and worse. And now I'm just coasting on my past accomplishments.
Is this one of your past accomplishments, playing here at the Classic Gaming Expo?
It will be a past accomplishment in one day.
Nice. That is very mathematic of you. Did you try out any other instruments before trying the banjo, or were you just like, no, banjo is my instrument?
I took piano lessons as a youth, and eventually I got very sad sitting inside by myself playing piano while all my friends were outside having fun. So I cried until I got to quit. And then I played guitar because I thought I could meet girls, and then that didn't work. So then I just started playing banjo because I knew there was no chance. And here I am today.
Have you met any girls playing banjo, or is that just, no, you knew that was where that was going when you started playing banjo?
I've met girls who play banjo, but I haven't met girls while I'm playing banjo. I knew it was hopeless to begin with, and I was comfortable with that. And I just fell in love with it. So now I have that.
Well, we saw you play earlier, and you're really good at banjo, and you're really good at mixing it up with the digital sounds and whatnot. Where did that idea come from?
That was really, as you would be amazed to hear, not very planned out at all. I played banjo, and then I saw online about people doing 8-bit music with Game Boys and Ataris and whatnot, and I always loved those sounds and loved the consoles. And so I just started playing around with it, and it just seemed very natural to me to combine it with the things I was already doing. And it actually sort of worked, so I'm glad it did.
Right on. I'm going to assume that you're an avid gamer, at least a small part.
I am. I was much worse in my early years. When I was 6 or 7 years old, my dad brought home a Teletronics phone system from Sears, and that was the beginning. And it's amazing just how many hours I spent with a slider and a thing going back and forth across the screen. Probably the most boring thing in the world, but it just seemed so great at the time. And that was the beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end. So, going on with the whole video game theme, I asked Crash Faster Morgan what was his favorite game, or the game that, like, when he beat it, he wanted to cry. It was so hard, it took so long for him to do. He said Mega Man 9, the new one, which I agree. Is there a game that you beat it and it's just like, you know, it's like success, and just you had a breakdown, revelation of sorts?
Well, in a weird way, this game is actually not very hard. But when I was a kid, my friend and I decided we were going to roll over Atari 2600 Pac-Man. And so we took turns. I think I'd play for an hour, then he'd play for an hour, then I'd play for an hour. And eventually we, I don't remember what the score was, but we rolled it back to 0. And it really seemed like a big, important accomplishment in our lives. I don't know why. Looking back now, I've never even told this story to anybody. It seems terrible.
Spankwagon, who asked you, but conjoined exclusive.
You heard it here first.
And or second, depending on what day these go up. But seriously, to me, that's a major accomplishment. Like, I went through every Mega Man game and beat everybody with the regular Buster. And I even played the Mega Man X games without getting any of the hearts and without getting any of the special gear or anything.
See, I wonder, like, that's good because it's like, why make it even harder on yourself? Like, what compels a person to take something that's hard and say, okay, that was pretty fun, but let me do it again and make it 10 times more difficult. It's just the human, it's the beautiful nature of the human spirit which compels us.
That's absolutely true. We were talking earlier about Dragon's Lair, which in my opinion, the most insanely hard game on Earth. I've never beaten that game. I get to a part with this crazy eye thing and I just can't get past it. I was like, no, I'm not pushing the button fast enough. Fuck this bullshit.
I'll just put this out there. I just thought of it the other day. I didn't really play a lot of NES games. I had one, but we only had like 3. Have you ever played that Predator game for the NES with Arnold Schwarzenegger? And you turn around and do a little thing. I'm just wondering if anybody else ever beat that game, because I did. Did you ever play that game?
No, I never played Predator for the NES.
Okay, well I did. Maybe I'm gonna take this interview over for a second. The end of that game, the end of the game is you shooting a giant predator face. That is it. It's just flying around like the little phantom mask in Super Mario 2, and you just shoot it to death. But that game made no sense because half the levels you were a big guy and you had to collect bubbles. It didn't make any fucking sense. Okay, maybe I'll rework into the interview. What's the game you played? What's the game you played that doesn't make any sense to you no matter what? It could be Japanese, anime, because a lot of that. Is there a game you ever played and you said, what is the point of this?
Aren't they all really like that, though?
They're all really like that. That's the answer.
Fundamentally,
E.T.
They're all like that. I remember when E.T. came out, and that was terrible. And
that's before your time.
E.T. the game. That's terrible.
There was the legendary video game crash of '83. And it is largely attributed to the game that came out on the Atari 2600, I think.
Yeah.
It was just E.T. the game, and it was terrible. Nobody knew what to do.
There's 2.5 million. There's 2.5 million ET cartridges buried in a cave because they made so many of them, thinking it was going to be such a smash hit, and it was shit. And you fall down the well, and you can't do anything. You fall down, you can't get up. It's like
all you do is jump, and you try to get to the side, and then you're out, and you fall down another well.
That's true, and you never know why. It's maybe the most existential masterpiece ever created. There you go.
It is. I would play it just because it's that terrible.
Why?
But do you have a website or something where people can check you out and we can link to?
Yes, I have a website called budmelvin.com. Come on by.
You're selling furniture too. Come on by.
Well, thanks for talking to us, bud. You've been an awesome interview.
Thanks for having me, world.
Can we get you to say .net real quick? Just scream it.
.net.
.net! That was perfect.
I felt like it was a wrestling promotion.
It kind of is. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Ah!
Ooh,
Bud Melvin! Bud Melvin's awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. Green Bay.
I love you so love me. I start with the open shoes. I put on a brand new shirt. I come over from work. You say that you love me. But did I see you crying? Did I see you crying? Feel all over my face, I feel like dying. Did I see you crying? I want you to want me. I need Prepare for Crash Fest.
What do you give missing a? Give us a.
All right, Trencher here from Spankwagon, spankwagon.net.
And whoaskyoushow.com.
And we're here with
Dave Warhol. Yeah, and I hear that you're one of the original programmers for Intellivision.
That's right. I worked in Mattel Electronics for a couple of years. Did Mind Strike for their ECS. Did Thunder Castle with Connie Goldman. And then after Mattel went out of business, my company produced about 25 Intellivision cartridges that are all sold under the INTV label.
What's your company?
Real Time Associates.
Right on. You guys are still producing games?
Yeah, we're still making games. We've done probably 100 games over the last 20 years on 8-bit Nintendo all the way up through Xbox and PS2, and now we're doing some online stuff and some other kind of trainers and things.
Okay. Now, one question I have, you mentioned games from television all the way up through today. One thing that the camera guy Mark and I were talking about earlier in the museum side was the replayability. Because he's a younger guy, so he's never remembered the same games, familiar levels over and over. How did you achieve replayability in the early days?
That's a really good question. It's like we didn't have any choice because there was so little room for graphics and kind of fun factor and story that the only thing you could do is make it so that it was engaging. So I mean, it's almost like at the molecular level or at the kind of the smallest level of inching up the play. You know, there were other tricks that we used, like having just a ton of maps in a game instead of just one. I know some games like Night Stalker only had one, but then eventually as we kind of figured things out, putting more and more content, like 99 holes of golf in a golf course a program that was only 16K, you know, so just kind of concentrated on packing the stuff in there.
Now what, from a programmer's standpoint, like how challenging is it to pack that stuff in there?
What was pretty challenging is, as long as you had to write an assembly language, right? So you're looking at the smallest possible programming constructs, and after a while you pick up how to make it be smaller, but the real trick is translating the design into how to write it small. I mean, yeah, you can make a maze game, but how can you make a maze game where you can pack in a ton of mazes and still have it there? So really the trick part was interpreting the design rather than just the engineering.
Now, how difficult was it to create an involving story in these kind of old games?
Well, I was never a story guy. I think my favorite story is Mario, 8-bit Mario. The story is 3 words long. He just is. Or Rescue the Princess. You know, it's just like, you know, I know that a lot of games now are really engaging characters and believability and all that. But for me, you know, if you want a story, you can watch a TV show or watch a movie. If you want to play a game, to me that's about the interaction between moving things, physics. You know, those kinds of challenges to me are the real nature of interactivity.
Okay. Now you've written games for television, you've written them for Xbox, and you've written them all in between. What's that one game you were like, yeah, my name is on this, I'm stoked?
There's a few. Bug for the Sega Saturn was one of our biggest titles. It was the first title for the Sega Saturn that was developed in North America to be shipped right about the time of launch. It always takes me like a year or two after a game is finished before I can look back at it because, all the way up to where I'm working on it, it's like, I've got to get it better or smaller or faster or whatever it is, and then, with a little distance I can pick it up. But I remember picking up Hubert for Game Boy a year later and going, yeah, this came across really well. I like the way that this all hangs together. So there's a few of them, here and there.
All right. So let's whether it's in the video game realm or not, what do you do to just clear your mind, get ready to start coding, get ready to start working on a project?
I guess it's probably a really good idea to clear my mind. but to start a project, I don't know. I think there's a million different ways or tricks or things you can do to build a game, and you really do have to look at the objectives of the game. There's so many games, role-playing games, text adventures, there's first-person shooters. You look at every single tool that's ever been used in any kind of game, but then you look at your new game and say, okay, which one of these things do you want to bring together? How might they work together? So it's not starting from zero, I suppose, but it starts from zero preconceived notions about what it is you're about to build, and then you can kind of take these puzzle pieces together and turn them into a larger, or the game you want to build.
Right, okay, makes sense.
from I know we kind of touched on the story aspect a little bit. But how do you feel about how more and more cinematic the games are becoming?
Well, it's really entertaining, and to the degree that it gets more people into games, that's good. I mean, for one of these cinematic games, if it's 30 hours of gameplay, I kind of like play into it about 3 hours and go, okay, well, I know how to play this game, and if I wanted to see the story, then I'll commit my other 27 hours to it. But you know, I'll read the cliff notes or whatever it is, and all that. You know, I like it. It's nothing that my company does. It's nothing that I do. But you know, people with backgrounds in cinema are creating games. Actually, I think it's USC has a graduate program, and it's in their school of cinema. The film school is where they run their game design department. I was really impressed with this because the first assignment for an incoming student is make a film, okay, a 20-minute film, 15-minute film, and then the second assignment is now make that film a game. And to me, it was like, but that's backwards. You start with the mechanics, and then you figure out what story goes on it, you know, like that.
Right.
Well, it's just we didn't used to have room to put in stories, so it wasn't
right. Yeah. So a little bit more on the programming side then. What do you enjoy programming on, or what system did you enjoy, or do you enjoy programming for the most?
I did like the Intellivision. It had a pretty nice instruction set. It was simple, and once you become familiar with it, it's easy to use. I program in C++ a little bit, but I probably stopped coding, full time 20 years ago, and just kind of doing design and production and things like that. But one thing that I really do find fun is whenever my company's done like the Intellivision emulator on the PlayStation 2, Xbox. Because I was so familiar with the sound chip from the Intellivision, it's like I was the only guy on the team who could really pull that off. So I've always written my own sound emulation code for the games I produce, the emulators anyway. And then there's another time when I'll have an idea for either a tool or maybe it's like we were doing this music-based gameplay once, and I was trying to describe to somebody a tool to write. And he was going, okay, I think it'll take about 4 or 5 days to do that tool. And I was going, no. It's really simple. You just do this. He says, yeah, no, it'll take me about 4 or 5 days to do this. I said, no. Really, it'll take an afternoon. And so, yeah, it took me a day and a half, but it didn't take me 5 days. But I kind of stumbled together with, so I'll do little pieces of code that represent things that are very specific to what I have in mind. But other than that, I'm not really coding a lot.
You play any games?
Yeah, I'm still playing. I've been telling people I have a level 80 Warlock in World of Warcraft. And then I've got, I'm picking up the good ones, the new ones, Dead Red Redemption. I just installed StarCraft a little while ago. Yeah, I get and I keep an eye on them. And I'm looking at the social games, social network games on Facebook and things like that. And keep an eye on things.
This is a question for our cameraman. Have you ever played the Predator game in the NES?
I have not played. Do they have it here so I can play it? I want to play.
No, we don't want to play it. It was ridiculously stupid. You're Arnold, right? And the third level is all jumping through and you're collecting bubbles for no reason. And the final boss is this floating predator head. Not Predator head.
Well, we appreciate your time.
Oh gosh, I appreciate the interest, guys.
Thank you very much. Could you do me one small favor? Look at the lens and go, .net.
.net.